Another series, another preview brought to you by yours truly, Matt Cullen, Liberto, Aly Munro, the Oshawa Generals, and the Mississauga Steelheads squaring off in the conference semifinals. Game 1, Friday night here at the Hershey Center. Let's talk about the two series that led these teams to each other. The Oshawa Generals coming off a win over the Sudbury Wolves in 6 games, and then the Steelheads, of course, defeating the 67s in 6 games as well.
Yeah, obviously that series with the Ottawa 67s. What really stood out to me was strong goaltending from the Ottawa 67s, and the Steelheads will get that again this time around with Jeremy Brodeur. That being said, the Steelheads, their best players were their best players. Mike McLeod, 11 points. Spencer Watson, 4 goals, 5 assists. They rose to the occasion, and I expect nothing different.
Kyle, your thoughts?
Some of the best hockey that we've seen in the past 2 years covering this team has been these two teams inside of this building. It's going to be so much fun watching Jeremy Brodeur work for the Oshawa Generals. It's going to be great seeing who James Richmond's going to go with in this series. Will it be Mancina? Will it be Jacob Bingham? Some of their best hockey has come in the second half of this season, so I am really looking forward to that. And again, we have seen some incredible atmosphere for the Battle of the 401, and it's going to be no different in Game 1 and Game 2 here in the Fishbowl.
3 of the 4 games that the Generals and Steelheads played in the regular season were before that big turnaround in December. We caught up with head coach James Richmond to ask him about goaltending and about other matchups heading into this series.
Yeah, we'll go with whoever we think will give us the best chance to win on Friday night. But Matty's ready to go and been practicing, and he says he's ready to play. And normally you see in the playoffs the teams that win have the solid goaltending. I think we're lucky enough to have two starters that we can go to. Mancina had a great second half of the year. If he brings that into this series and he gets into the game, we're pretty comfortable with him. But Ingham had a wonderful series. He had bounced back games after what he would probably describe as down games. He bounced back the next day and had real solid games in there to help us win. But no question, both goalies we have are ready to start. They're both starters. In our minds, our team has played really well in front of both of them, so whoever plays will be counted on.
Perhaps most notably, gentlemen, Mike McLeod with the 5 points in that Game 6. Coach Richmond calling it one of the better performances from his team in this series. Who else stepped up for you guys in the playoffs so far?
Well, for me, it was Spencer Watson. We talked about him a little bit earlier, but this guy has done nothing but good things since he came to the Mississauga Steelheads. Obviously missed the first part of the season with a wrist injury, but ever since he's been back, he's really turned this season around. And after a quiet games 1 and 2 for Spencer Watson, he really came to life in the rest of that series, and he's one of the main reasons why this team is now in the second round.
Well, I'm going to tip my hat to Nathan Bastian. Nathan Bastian has had an absolute incredible series. You saw the work that he did inside of TD Place. He's had some great games inside of this building. I love it, yeah. And we expect nothing less in this series. Nathan Bastian is one of the leaders of this team. He is one of the vets of the Ontario Hockey League. He is going to have a tremendous series with guys like Michael McLeod, Owen Tippett as well. I think he's going to have a real blowout series. I think this is really where he's going to come out and have a showing.
Well, we did talk to Captain Mike McLeod, who's already had a blowout series, and that was in the first round. Here's what he had to say about the second round.
You know, we didn't beat them this year, regular season, but we didn't have our full roster, and you know, we weren't rolling at the time, and you know, we started to turn things on, you know, after Christmas. So it's a whole different story, I think. Yeah, me and Waddy have been playing well together for you know, last 20 games or so. We've got chemistry, and then recently Ryan's been added to our line, and I like what he brings. You know, really fast and he can carry the puck and make plays. So he's working well, and you know, we're only going to get better.
And as we wrap up things here from the Hershey Center following the final practice heading into Game 1, players looking very pumped up. A lot of woos coming off of the ice right now.
Looking loose.
Yeah, looking loose for sure. So let's talk about the 2-3-2 format that we're going to be seeing, a pretty rare format. Hershey Center gets Friday and Sunday's games, and then they're off to Oshawa for Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Yeah, obviously it's a rare format here in the playoffs, and it really puts the pressure on these first 2 games. Obviously the Mississauga Steelheads, if Oshawa is able to get a game, that means the next 3 are back out in Oshawa. So pressure situation, but you have to think if the series does go 6 or 7, Obviously the Mississauga Steelheads have a great advantage, but like we said before, Mississauga did great on the road in that first series. The road team won 5 out of the 6 games in that series, so you know what, we can analyze the stats all you want, but it should be a great series.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it. Obviously, they've had a tremendous road game in this postseason. They were able to take one off of the number 2 seed in the Barrie Colts inside of the Barrie Molson Center last year as well. So I really like their shot hanging in. When you talk about Game 3, Game 4, potentially Game 5, we hope that it doesn't go that far. But if it does, you got to like the Steelheads' chances in the Tribune Community Arena.
There you go.
That's it.
Sounds weird, doesn't it?
Motors Place.
All right, well, you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca or go to the Steelheads box office. Game 1 at the Hershey Center, 7 o'clock puck drop, Friday night. Generals, Steelheads.